This is Cubs Radio.
Cubs Radio.
Okay. Okay, we'll just do that for now.
3-2 to Mookie Wilson. Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Hello, Tony. Mookie Wilson here, 1986 Mets. How you doing? Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, that Knockem Day Comedy Radio, man. I miss you. I wish I was still up there, man. But I'll wait till it warm up a little bit, and hopefully this year things will be a little bit better, man. But when we're talking about comedy, hey, the early years of Mets was a lot to laugh about. You had to make a lot of comedy off those guys. Hey, hope to see you guys during the summer, and hopefully get back on the show, man, at some point in time during the course of the year, all right? All right? Yeah, fine. Contact me, man. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
Just so you know, you had this whole conversation with me in your head because I didn't.
No, I did. I told
hear
you.
any of this. This is all like completely new stuff. So, weirdo. I feel like you need to move over more because the thing's right in your face. Ten seconds.
This is Govs Radio.
Govs Radio.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Knockem Day Comedy Radio Show, coming at you live from Governor's Comedy Club, the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown. Thanks for joining us this morning. GovsRadio.com is the website. You can see our show there live right now. Sorry. Allergies are killing me, man. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Knockem Day Comedy Podcast, coming at you live on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. That is the name of the YouTube channel. That is the name of the Facebook page. But we are interacting with you on the YouTube channel today. Please hit the thumbs up. Please like the show. Please copy the link and share it to all your social media pages and tell everybody you know about all the great shows here at Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, like this one and like Donversations that was on last night. And all the great shows here at Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. We are coming at you live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club right here in Levittown, where this weekend you will see Tammy Pescatelli, who will be here tomorrow night. She was on our show the other day. She's fantastic. Joey Callahan will be here Saturday. Joey will be Zooming in with us tomorrow on our show, so look out for him. And don't forget, don't forget John Ziegler, May 21st, where he's recording a comedy special. And, of course, here in the Giggle Room this weekend, Harris Stanton tomorrow night. And don't forget Joe Pontillo and Brian McGinnis on June 4th. I did ask Joe Pontillo. I am not in that show.
Did he say why?
I didn't ask.
You didn't?
You guys saw it. He asked me live on this show to be on that show with them.
And then
to
the flyer came out?
The flyer came out, all the pictures. I'm not on it, so I asked him. I said, who's? I said, is that everybody? He said, yes, that's everybody.
Oh, you didn't ask him,
I just left. No, I'm saving it till we're on the air again with him. And then I'm putting him on the spot. The Brokerage in Belmore this weekend. Brendan Sagalow, Friday and Saturday. McGuire's in Bohemia this weekend. What a lineup they got going on out there. Ellen Karras is playing there tomorrow night. And then the Late Show tomorrow night. Shut Up Stupid with our pals Tim Saliani, Mike Keegan, Carla Okerson.
You know they're going to take that sound bite and play it at their wedding.
Johnny Butera, and on Saturday, Jim DeLakis. That's in McGuire's in Bohemia. And if you missed it, you missed it. Louis C.K. playing all three clubs next week. Sunday at the Brokerage.
Yeah, tickets were on sale for 5
minutes, all sold out. Forget it.
By the time we said, hey, do you think we should get... They were gone.
Yep. So maybe you can stand outside the club and wave to him.
Last time he was here, he brought a little... I don't know what kind of a dog, a medium-sized golden doodle or something with him.
Louis C.K. had a dog with him?
Yeah, the little dog was in the green room all night long, and every once in a while he'd bring it outside and walk it.
No, really?
Yeah, because I was doing another show in here.
Yeah. You didn't ask him, hey, you need me to walk your dog there, Louis?
I could have.
All right. Okay, so that's what's going on around here. Go to govs.com to see their full schedule and to make your reservations. Govs.com. And, of course, our last announcement, and then we'll get to talking to Maria. If you would like to start a podcast, you like to do a podcast on your own, or you like to do it on our platform, or if you just need to record some video and audio, we got you. We can hook you up right here in the studio. Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. That is the name of the Facebook page. get in touch with us through our Facebook page and we'll hook you up. We got cameras, we got lights, we got microphones, we got monitors, we got Zoom capability, we got 4 phone lines, we have graphics, we have all sorts of cool stuff, and we even have Danny.
We do.
Yeah, he's right there. What is that? Is that Frozen over there?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, so we got all sorts of stuff. Get in touch with us, and we'll hook you up. We got great rates, and we'll take good care of you here at Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. All right, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have with us here today. Now, what do you prefer, Maria Cap or Maria?
What do you want to call me?
Well, I know that's not the full name, so I don't know if you wanted to.
So Cap is short for Cappuccielli. Is that what you're asking?
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
My legal last name is Cap.
Oh, really?
C-A-P-P.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Cappuccielli was. You can introduce me, but I can explain the story. Cappuccielli is the full name, but ancestors, when they came to Ellis Island, shortened it on the registry.
Wow, that was pretty short.
Yes.
Cap. Wow, not even a try.
Right, and we went from Italian to Jewish.
But in all seriousness, probably a smart move at that time.
At that time, it served them. For
Right.
sure, they were fearful of discrimination.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
But I like it. It rolls off the tongue. Cappuccielli.
Cappuccielli.
Yeah.
Oh, Cappuccielli over here.
Yeah.
Nice. But all right, so that was the legal name. So you just throw it out there whenever you feel like it?
No, it's the name of the production company.
Oh, it is?
Yes. My eldest
okay.
daughter said, it's a beautiful name. We should name the production company.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. All right, so that was actually the first thing I was going to ask you. So Maria Cappuccielli,
Yes.
Cappuccielli is here. Maria, but now you have the acting school, you have the film production, you're directing movies, you have plays. I mean, you apparently you get no sleep.
Can you see the bags under my eyes? Because
No.
right now I'm doing 14-hour days.
Because you're not. Most of the time, you're not on Long Island, right? Aren't you?
So my family and I, we moved to Los Angeles, or I should say, we did the bi-coastal thing in 2000, officially in July of 2012. So we're approaching our 10-year anniversary.
Oh, wow.
The family has been on the same coast for most of the time since 2000, and I think it's 19.
And which coast? East or west?
Los Angeles.
The West
okay.
Coast.
But we sold our home in Sayville, and that's where we raised our family. My husband's from Smithtown. I'm from Ronkonkoma. And we have a condo in right up the block from where my mom's buried at Holy Sepulchre.
Oh, wow.
Very convenient. I get to visit her every time I come in.
Yeah,
town.
that's nice. Yeah, because my mom's buried in Riverhead.
Calverton.
Yeah. So it's like
A
it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm like, I think
Yeah.
I'll just talk to you in the car, Mom.
Yeah. It's just a place, even if I don't get into the cemetery, it's cool because every day I drive by it,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
No,
nice.
it's
Yeah.
nice.
It's like a hello.
And then where in LA are you?
We're in Burbank.
Oh, that's great. Yeah,
It
that's
is
really
great.
convenient.
I love it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I lived in Huntington Beach for a while.
Oh my God,
and
gorgeous.
Capistrano Beach, like all around that area, but never very close to LA.
Yeah.
But I understand the appeal because everything's so close
Yeah.
to what you need to do.
As a New Yorker moving to the West Coast, we had kids, so we were drawn to school district. And if I had known a little bit more about the Valley, I probably would have ended up on the Valley to begin with and saved a lot of moving and a lot of money.
Yeah.
But we moved to Beverly Hills. So my middle daughter graduated from Beverly Hills High.
90210.
Yes,
Wow, check it out.
absolutely. That was fun.
Oh, we were all thinking that.
It was fun to be able to say 90210. Where
Yeah.
do you live? Where did I live? 455 Oakhurst. 455 North Oakhurst Boulevard, Beverly Hills, 90210.
There you go.
Yes. It was bougie.
Yeah.
Were people doing that before that show?
No.
Just where do you live, 90210?
No,
Like,
and I don't think anyone thought about the
11801?
zip code. That was what was so cool about it. Like, yeah, you really know where someone lives. If,
Yeah.
Like,
And
you know
there's-
their actual zip code.
And I think there's 2 or 3 zip codes for Beverly Hills, but we were in
You were in the main one.
90210.
You were where Brandon was.
Yes.
Yeah.
You even know their names.
You can't even make eye
I
contact
can't.
with me
Yeah,
now.
I'm ashamed of you.
You're
Wow.
like avert your eyes.
So did you go to LA and then start all these?
So I have really strong family roots in Long Island theater. My mother was an actor.
Oh.
And anybody and everybody that there is to know in the community and regional theater on Long Island, where I'm connected in some way.
Really?
I've been on stage with my mom, with my siblings, with my children,
Wow.
with many people. So the start of it all was theater, and then the transition into film was because of my eldest, and she was at the time a student at Sarah Lawrence College, and she had gotten her first professional job. And then from there, she started to record music. She's a singer.
Hurricane.
Yes.
I did my research.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, but her first EP was with the
Proud of
Berman
myself.
Brothers. And the first music video that we did, which was the visual transition for me to go from producing and directing stage, was the music video So What? And so she was really the origin of the production company. And then it was just really create a production company to produce and create content that not only would serve the 3 professional actor children that I had, but
Nice. It's really it's a cool thought how to like incorporate your
Yeah.
life and children all together and what they were doing.
yeah. So we do live and breathe it. So I hope I answered your question, but that was really
Yes,
the transition.
absolutely, yeah.
And that was in, I guess it was 2011 where we did that. And then, short film, again, same thing, create content because she needed to get representation. And then my son has a little blooper in it when he was like 9 years old. And Natasha, who was a student at the time, she's in it. And it was definitely a family affair. And that from there, we just practiced and improved. And then I am one of those people that whatever I kind of put my mind, whatever I put my mind to, I try to do it in its fullest capacity. So I definitely have a PhD hands-on in film production.
Well, you have to be
everything else.
like you said to, you have to go full throttle, especially living in LA, because that's where
yeah.
everybody goes, and everybody goes there thinking that they're gonna
Yeah.
be a household name. So you have to
Yeah.
have that mindset to really just,
Yeah.
if you're gonna make a dent of any kind.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
that,
Oh
is
no,
that
that's
accurate?
absolutely. I think when I think back, because it's been really hard. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
The airplane, the miles, the travel. It's been very, very, trying on marriage and family and the kids and
How
stuff.
old are the kids now?
Yeah, my daughter is Rafaela is in her later 20s, and I lose count because if I know how old she is, then I know how old I am.
You're right.
Natasha
You were 10
is,
when you had her.
Yep. Natasha is mid 20s. She's in that phase. That's the comedian chickie. Rafaela is the content creator, we'll say. And then my son, he's a September 11th baby. So he's 19 and a half. He'll be 20.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they're all out of high school, so that's
Oh,
always
God,
a
yeah.
relief as far as like travel back and forth.
And now it's my turn. That's the thing. Now I have all
Yeah.
this free time. So.
Sure.
Well, yeah, I could tell by the. Oh God, yeah, like that was loud and big. Like,
To jump
I'm
ahead
done with these.
a little bit, just to like let people know why you came on the show, which is a great thing, is because you're doing a production here in Ronkonkoma about the Lady of the Lake.
Yeah.
And like Chris Roach is going to be a part of it. A lot of people are going to be a
Yes.
part of it, and
Yes.
and which is really great to incorporate like locals and
Yeah.
your work. And the story is a really cool thing. But I just wanted to like give people just a little bit of tidbit of what we're talking about, and then feel free to go back to what you were.
Okay, yeah. So the origin of the story is pretty simple, but it's a little long-winded. So I grew up in Ronkonkoma. I grew up in Ronkonkoma in the 70s and the 80s. Youth child, barefoot, roam in the woods where my mom was able to step out the kitchen window and
Right.
Maria, Joanna, Carmela,
Just be
Tommy,
home for dinner.
come
yeah,
home
it's
for
a
dinner.
great combination of water and forest.
And that's exactly what
You
it
know?
was.
It's really a great place to grow up.
And we grew up playing in the construction sites of all the inline high ranches and wide high ranches and all the new homes now,
Yeah.
which is pretty much houses and concrete. Yeah.
This is most of the island, unfortunately.
So what I did was I wanted to incorporate 3 pieces. I always wanted to write about growing up in Ronkonkoma. I just didn't know what the time frame of my experience would be about that. How it smelled, how it sounded, how it felt when just everything. Like it's all my senses are alive when I'm there. And I wanted to get out of the town so fast when I was younger,
That's happened to me too.
but coming back,
Yeah. And then it
was-
feels like it's
oh my
home.
gosh.
And you don't even realize it till you're like walking around.
Yeah,
and
I
you're
just
like,
got chills
you're
saying
like,
that.
These are my people.
Yeah.
And you don't realize it for
no.
40 years. Like that's
Yeah.
what happened to me too.
Yeah, so I did have the concept on a deck before COVID. Like I think it was early 2019 that I wanted to tell a psychological thriller. And I was in a writing class, and I've never written a horror before. And one of the things about writing that genre, which is very much in demand in terms of an audience, is the typical audience expects slasher. So I didn't want to write a slasher. I wanted to write an authentic horror.
Like what? What would you compare it to? Like not the
Like more of a
storyline.
thriller?
So what I ended up doing is writing a psychological thriller,
Right,
and I
okay,
tapped
good.
into the authentic horror of what it's like for a parent to lose a child. And I have firsthand experience in a second position. My mom is young, was young in age. My grandmother is 100. She just celebrated her 100th.
Wow.
But so
That's
my
great.
grandmother was a young mother. That's what it is. There's only like 16 years between my mom and my grandmother. And my grandmother had 4 children, but she had them like 6 or 7 years apart. She was an entrepreneur, had her own business. And when my mom had me, my sister, she was pregnant with my little sister at the time, younger sister, she watched her baby brother, who was only 5 to 7 years old. And on his 7th year, he did pass away to a very tragic accident, which I won't describe right now. It's horrible. But my grandmother, resilient, a fighter, and I was only 4 when it happened. And because my mom was so close and raised us, and we were like brothers and sisters, it definitely had an impact then.
Sure.
Then in the stories.
Because you don't even realize anyone would ever die at that point in your life. You know?
No, but
Like,
what,
it's hard to lose a cat at that point.
Yeah. No, this was, but the thing that I want to say is not only the impact of being 4 or 5 years old and losing a 7-year-old member of the family, but it was to watch the difference. I don't remember it that much, but what I do know is that it was talked about or it was not talked about. And there were things that then came out in my mom's parenting skills and behavior that definitely affected me.
Oh, yeah, like where you could go or not
Everything.
go. Everything changes.
Everything. Yeah. So, and I rebelled against that.
Like when I lived in California is when the Amber Alert came out, and I don't know if you were there at that point, but kids were just taken out of parents' front yard, like a bag of tomatoes.
Yeah.
Like it was, and it happened in a pile of different neighborhoods within a year, and no one could believe it, and it was so different afterwards. Not only the Amber Alert, that like the whole country.
Isn't that because
took
of
in.
what's his name from the reality show who lost his son John something?
Oh,
Isn't-
John Walsh.
Yes, isn't the Amber Alert as a result of being implemented?
No, that happened a really long time ago.
Oh, okay.
Where his
Yeah,
son
but
was killed,
but
I
he
think.
did that show.
Yeah.
For that, like, you know, how to find criminals or something. That was awful. That was actually the mother was in the mall with the boy, and the boy was like younger than these 13 and 14-year-old kids that were out playing video games.
Yeah.
And the owner of the place said, "Oh, you kids, get off my lawn, get out of here." So like this 8-year-old just followed and went out an exit, and you know, someone got him in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his story. But after the Amber Alert, you go to the airport and kids have like their parents have their kids on like leashes.
Oh, yeah.
Like it
I
changes
remember.
everything. Like
Yeah.
if someone had left the country for a few years and then came back to the same airport, they're like, "Why are all the 2-year-olds on leashes?"
Yeah. So without going again into details, my mom would stop, and I do remember this. She would stop. And we grew up in the Bronx. The accident occurred on Homer Avenue, just up the block from the sanitation department off of Castle Hill Avenue. And my mom would stop on Long Island, like no matter where we were in a neighborhood, and have a reaction in the car that was heightened. It was like a flight or fight. Hop out of the car and knock on the person's house and say, "You have to break up that box. You cannot leave that box." And then she would tell the person why.
Yeah.
My brother died. He got crushed in the box and blah, 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 blah. So that's what I mean by the impact. So I leaned into that. And I do know a couple of other people close to me, my neighbors across the street, beautiful family. They lost a teen, middle child, and I just know how it affects the family. I know another woman.
So you were able to just
I
completely
just had-
write like a beautiful thriller story that really got to the heart of things, I would imagine.
Yeah, it touches that horror. So that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to write this genre without doing the typical slasher movies. So
Sure.
it leans more toward that. The deck that I had was more about the legend of the lake, and it's really referred to as the legend of Princess Ronkonkoma. Ronkonkoma has, from official signage from the county, Princess Ronkonkoma, to the town worshiping, idolizing, or paying tribute to the, from an artistic standpoint, graffiti, art, and then there's the pretty well-known artist Todd Arnett. Todd, if you're listening, I'm trying to get in touch with you.
Tell the story of the Ronkonkoma story, not yours, but
Yeah.
like,
So the story. So during COVID,
if you grew up around here, you know. But
yeah. So during COVID, I really spent some time doing some research, both using Google and the internet. But I went to the Historic Society in Ronkonkoma. They did have a window of hours, even during COVID, that I was able to sit there and do some research. And then I connected with some folks out in the Shinnecock Reservation. So the story is, in my research, loose and not concrete. I'll say that first. And there are more than one version of the story. The curse is that every year, the spirit of the princess or this woman takes a male life and he drowns. And she's taking that life. The two stories are sorrowful heart or vengeful heart. My story leans into sorrowful heart. Mm-hmm. The other two paths of the story is that, or the legend, is that she was in love with a gentleman by the last name of Birdsall, which would be a typical John Smith Pocahontas tale.
Yeah.
And I chose not to tell that story or that point of view. And that's where she's vengeful.
Yeah.
He left her. He goes to Connecticut. He marries, and she follows him. And then out of being angry, I think she passes away from suicide by drowning. And her body is found in the Sound, the Long Island Sound. And so every year but she's from Ronkonkoma. Mm-hmm. The story I chose to tell leans more into a Romeo and Juliet version, which is that there were 4 indigenous tribes that worshipped, utilized, and benefited from the abundance of the lake, and associated the lake with a female energy and spirit, and it was sacred to them. Mm-hmm. And that the 4 indigenous tribes shared her abundance, the lake. And that the story is that one tribe's daughter, a tribal leader, his daughter, was in love with another tribe leader's son, but because it was the wrong side of the block or the other side, he forbid her from being with him. Mm-hmm. And he killed himself out of sorrow of not being able to live without her. Yeah. And then her sorrowful heart, because he killed himself, she drowns herself in the water.
Okay.
And so that is the story that I leaned into to tell.
Sure.
And I tapped very much into the female gender, the metaphor and symbolism of the lake being a female spirit and being a sacred body of abundance and giving, and the sorrowfulness of how it is for a woman to overcome losing a child, and then the love thing. So
yeah, I can't wait to see it. It
Thank
sounds
you.
it sounds meaty.
Sounds good when I say it like that.
But now with that legend, this story, there's been, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, it's around 100 deaths in that lake through the years?
I think I saw a number as high as 300.
Is it that high? Okay.
I think there's a lot of inconsistencies. But one of the things I will say is that I grew up swimming in the lake. I grew up, which is now the Islip Pavilion, but it was just the town of Islip Beach. Swimming lessons, several summers where we swam in the lake. So the lifeguards, having crushes on the lifeguards, actually following those lifeguards when the lake closed, going to Smith's Point and hanging out.
That sounds like a movie too, Stalker.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I have Smith's Point, the bridge, that's another thing. Sunrise, sunset. But to answer your question about the number of deaths, there's a lot of inconsistencies, but there are a lot of people that have firsthand experience. And one, I don't remember the gentleman's name, but one of the stories that I read and that was published in newspapers and on online posts was a lifeguard who actually experienced during his career as a professional lifeguard in the lake, probably around 100.
Okay.
Like he personally.
Right.
And that's more than 100 years, right? But he just so many drownings or close to.
Are there like riptides in there, or like what's like going on over there?
So one of my dear friends,
like an underwater culvert or something that like no one knows about.
Yeah. So what it is I don't know if this has been proven, but it's logically and scientifically based, because a lot of the people that have drowned, there's a percentage of the bodies that end up in the Long Island Sound. So I do have a friend who is a professional paramedic in the fire department world, and he's done search and rescue in the lake. And what he described to me is that there are underwater there are underground tunnels that are small, but that
they're
and that they
culverts. Yeah.
pull, and the energy that kind of like sucks, you
When
in.
the tide goes in and out.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the other thing that he said is that it's so dark and muddy that there's no visual
You can't tell whether you're
up or down, and you can't even see like inches of in front of you.
Right.
So
Goodness.
it's just really not a good place. And I don't know why they closed the lake. I mean, I was told we weren't allowed to swim in it because it was environmental. I know the 3 townships, there's some political things on who's responsible for cleaning it up and things like that, and money. But I know you can swim in it now.
I didn't know that.
I think
Well,
so.
the
I
girls
think,
can. The boys just stay away.
yeah.
Stay
But I think
away.
like town of Brookhaven, the Murphy Park, I do think they put a lifeguard there. I don't know about the town of Islip, the pavilion, but that's right up the block from where my parents' home is, I grew up in. And I do see people swimming in, and I think I've seen lifeguards. But for the most part, it's not like it used to be.
All right, so this legend and all these and 300 people dying, that's not part of the movie then?
So what it is just, I mean, yes, it is. But the story is really about a young girl, Jamie,
Right.
who wants to celebrate her high school graduation and her 18th birthday, but it's overshadowed by the 1-year anniversary of her brother's drowning in the lake.
okay.
Her parents' mental health
Sure.
or grief over their inability to move on.
Yeah.
And some supernatural occurrences that haunt this once happy family.
You gonna make me cry in this movie?
I hope so. I also hope
You have a really sweet radio voice.
I do. Me?
Danny's like nodding his head over there.
Yeah?
It is, right?
Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
there's a nice tone about it.
Well, if anybody wants to hire me for voiceover, I have a microphone in my closet.
That's the voice you used for the police officer just before.
I did. I did. They were so cute.
You were a little late because Maria was like hauled off to jail.
If my husband's watching, he's shaking his head right now.
Well, it sounds like it worked for you.
Yeah, what were you doing? You did an illegal U-turn or something?
I did, but I didn't do a full U-turn. What I did was, and I should have done it, I should have committed to it. I was in front of the high school, so I passed the strip to go. First of all, I was thinking visually in my head, Belmore brokerage, not Governors. So Danny did describe, oh no, don't make sure you do this, you do that. I'm like, I know where I'm going.
Well, we got the inside scoop too. You were on the phone with Danny too. So you made a big
I-
U-turn
he's-
and on the
Danny's-
phone.
But it was hands-free.
So you say.
I have a gadget attached to the plug-in and
Yeah.
the phone. So I literally was hands-free. But I even said to the officer, they say this is hands-free, but it really, my mind, it's like, it shouldn't be.
You said that to the officer and you still got out of the ticket?
Yes.
What'd you say?
Yeah, I
when
gotta
to
hear.
get
I
out?
gotta hear. All right, so you were you.
So I made
yeah,
a
explain-
left turn.
Okay.
So I was heading so the high school was on my right.
Okay.
I passed the entrance in.
Yep.
So the high
Okay.
school was on my right, and I made a left at the residential street.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I made a left. I should have made a left, gone down a little bit, and then U-turned to come back and make a right. But what I did was that wide
Yeah.
left park,
I do those all the
stop, and
time.
then make a right at the stop sign.
Yep.
So he still called that a U-turn. U-turn. But he probably didn't give me a ticket because I explained to him that I just got in town. My car didn't start. I thought I was going to Belmore. Do you know where Governors is? I'm going on camera. I live in LA. I kind of did that thing. And I don't have blonde hair. And so I tried to, I'm sorry. I don't mean to do that, but but the truth of the matter is when I'm an Italian New Yorker with moxie, I always get a ticket. When I did what I did today, it was more like damsel in distress. You're so cute. Oh my gosh, thank you, young man. Thank you, young man. Would you open the window for my partner? Hi. Oh my gosh, you're so cute. Thank you.
Do you really do
Oh,
that?
yeah. Of course I did.
I just start
that is
crying. I just go,
hilarious.
yeah.
I go,
Either
just get
one
out of my
works.
face.
Yeah, but you're leaving out we're leaving out the button coming off. too.
Oh yeah.
So she sits down, and the first thing I say is that how you got out of the ticket? Because your button was like wide open.
Well, that's because I've said it so many times not to make weight an issue, but all of us can relate to the COVID-20.
Yeah.
I got COVID-30, and
Yeah.
it's all in the right places.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's why my
That
shirt
is
opened
really
up.
good. Well, good for you. Good
Thank
things
you.
are happening for you. Good poundage where they should be.
Danny, did you know I was this funny? I actually had no idea. Yeah, I'm really funny.
Oh, here, Danny, let me try to figure out.
Danny
your mic.
Coronado hanging out with us.
How about that?
It's got to be at least a year since we've seen you, right?
Yeah, it's maybe a little more.
More, yeah.
I did the opening thing with you on it today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Little
Little Danny.
Intro
That was
has
a good one.
Danny in it. Yeah. Yeah, very nice. And he's a good boy, right?
He's great.
Yes, he's. This is the second year I have. Am I able to disclose that?
Yeah, no,
Oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah. So this is the second year my company has a formal internship. Over the 10 years, I've always had assistants and hired people, young people who are emerging.
Yeah.
And then I've watched them grow, jump off the diving board, and swim in the ocean. And so this is our second year of an official structured internship. Last year I had 8 people. And this year we have 4 solid folks. Danny is one of them. And that's actually how I've come to you, is because of Danny. But
Yeah,
he's
that's
a
right.
Reached out.
superstar. Absolutely.
Have you seen the stand-up? Have you been working on it?
I actually haven't. I think
Oh, you
since
haven't?
COVID, I've stopped.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm working with another person who they're actually trying to start up their own stand-up career. So, I mean, even though, like, I'm not like, oh, I can, guide, I can at least kind of give, like, some hints.
Yeah, little tips.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, you took a class, damn it.
I know, but even after that,
You're an
it's kinda
expert.
So I will plug, since we're on Long Island, one of the
Absolutely.
things is that in honor of my mother, the Millie D'Agostino Scholarship is a scholarship that's offered to a Long Island high school student. And applications are closing, by the way, so you still have time. If you need more time to apply, please let us know. Any teachers out there, parents out there that have or know someone, it's a...
Who would apply?
A high school
Like an
senior,
actor
a high
or
school senior who is going to study either musical theater or acting.
Okay.
It's an easy application, and the board is lovely. It's pretty much myself and my siblings and my dad, and then we have a couple of local folks from the theater community.
Nice.
But what I wanted to say is we're doing a fundraiser, and the Bohemia site is what we have our eyes on to hold a fundraiser to raise funds. And I'm hoping they don't even know this, but Danny definitely. My wish list is Debbie D'Amore, which is a Ronkonkoma lady who's been hitting the comedy scene. Was a dear friend of my mom's. Mike Marino, come back.
Mike Marino, yep.
And Chris Roach, are you in town? And Natasha will actually host it.
Oh, that's great.
And she's done that before at the Ha Ha Club and the Hollywood Improv,
Yeah, sure.
stuff like that. So that'll be sometime in the summer.
Are you prepared to talk to them about it?
No, I just did
Oh,
it
all
right
right, because
now.
one of the guys are here. I could introduce you after,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
about
that would
setting
be,
it up.
Oh,
So I-
multitasking? Yes, sir.
Exactly.
That would be
See that?
fantastic.
See that? We take good care of our
Oh,
guests
my
here.
goodness. I'm like hitting it all at once. It's great.
Now-
Tony and Sallie. Sallie and Tony.
And Maria and Danny.
And Maria and Dan.
Now, what did you? I got a Facebook invite yesterday
Really?
from you.
Really?
What do you got? There's a play or something going on? Is it this weekend? Is it? What is
Oh,
that?
my goodness. How did you get an invite from me on that?
I don't know. You invited me. I don't know.
Well, I have a social media team. I don't really do it.
let me
maybe
get back
Danny
to you
did
on
it.
that.
Oh,
Hold
Danny
on.
probably did that. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
also
It said
I-
Maria Cap invited
Yes,
me. I was like,
course.
oh.
my gosh, my team is Maria Cap.
Ah.
Oh my God, I have such an amazing social media team. Shout out to Veronica Kelly, Anna Giulio, and Daria Yoder, and now Danny. So this weekend at CAP, which is the Syosset Theater.
Yep.
My sister Carmela Newman, her musical theater, Wardrobe, and her husband Mike Newman, actors as well, are on stage with my niece Veronica Kelly, who I just mentioned social media, and my other niece Emily Attridge, also an actress in her own right. But
Is there anybody you're not related to?
no, I'm Italian. Or
answer.
even
Yep.
if I were Jewish or Italian, I'd be related to everybody.
You're right. Yes.
But we're doing a fundraising event. Tony at CAP and the whole family at CAP is honoring my mom and
wow.
giving tickets, segregated tickets. Is that the right word? Select tickets so that we can raise funds. So the tickets are a little bit more money. There'll be a meet and
Segregated
greet.
would be like a racial thing, but
Oh, okay. Select tickets. That's the word I'm looking for.
selected.
I haven't had my coffee. I haven't.
Korean people need not
Just
apply.
do the social media. You don't need to go to these things.
That's why I'm not on social media. I don't have a really good command of the English language unless I'm completely focused. And right now I might be a little all over. But a select group of tickets are being held, and the fundraising event is the 21st. So if you guys want to come
Of
over,
what month?
This month,
Okay.
May. Stephen Sondheim's Sunday in the Park is not Mamma Mia, right? Everybody wants to go see Mamma Mia, But most people don't know how beautiful this production, this
Right.
story, the music, and I have to say, no disrespect to anybody else, even the Broadway productions that have revived it, but my sister Carmela, I said that very New Yorkie, very Long Island. Oh my goodness, she is such an artist, and this just goes to validate all of the vocational opportunities that exist beyond being on stage or in front of the camera. She is a true artist as it relates to props and wardrobe, and then the
Nice.
musical part of it at all. And now she's also on stage.
Nice.
Yeah,
Does she
great.
work a lot on Long Island?
she does. She's a theater girl,
Okay.
theater woman.
That's always been one of my issues because I did Long Island theater for a long time myself. The same old musicals, the same old Neil Simon plays, and it used to make me nuts.
But it's because we have an audience that
I
you know,
get
the
it. That's
theaters
what
have
brings
to
in the
make
money. I
Yeah,
get it.
You know,
I get it,
Annie
but-
every Christmas.
right,
You know what I
right,
mean? Every
right.
holiday, Annie is a go-to.
But as an actor, and again, I get
Yes,
that, but
oh,
as an
no.
actor, like, I'm
Yeah.
dying to do something else.
Yes.
It's
So yeah,
annoying.
Tony, Cap, the show is ongoing. I don't know when it closes. You don't have to come to the Millie D'Agostino event, but that's May 21st. I'll be there. My entire family will be there,
Nice.
including my 100-year-old grandmother.
Oh, wow.
And you know, Sunday in the Park with George, Stephen Sondheim was one of my mom's favorites, and definitely is a piece of art. And I know the Cap family, not Cap family, the Cap Theater family is extremely proud of the piece and feels like it's one of the best productions they've really set forth.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, wow.
But not as many people are coming to see it because it's not Mamma Mia.
Right. Right. And that's where these guys come in. They got to promote the hell out of these things.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, no
correct.
pressure, Danny. Get cracking.
I got it.
What now? So the Lake Ronkonkoma movie.
Yes.
Are you still writing it? Is it? Do you
no,
have a
the
production
script
date set? You
Yeah,
know,
we're
what's
start
going on?
production Tuesday, the 31st of
Oh.
this, like, what is that, 2 weeks away?
Yeah.
Time is moving so fast. I remember my dad saying it's like a split second, and he's 83.
It's true,
I
yeah.
can't imagine what it feels like for him, but I definitely feel it. The pacing, and 2 weeks scares me. But
Yeah, I bet.
I have a great team, and we've been planning and pre-planning. And when you do production, planning is everything.
Yep.
So we're ready. We've partnered with some amazing people. I have New York Rep supporting us. I had partnered with them. They're our non-for-profit sponsors, so all of the funds. I mean, this is a grassroots movement.
Right.
It's considered a low-budget film, but it will in no way reflect
Yeah, it sounds like a
that.
great film.
Yeah, we have Donna Drake Media
Oh, do ya?
involved. Yes.
Well, yeah, I know you and Donna have a connection of some sort.
Yeah,
I don't know
years
much
ago,
about it.
I guess it was.
She did something with your kids, was it?
So I wrote an article when I wrote, like I was a freelance writer, and I wrote for a couple of parenting magazines, and I covered Donna before she embarked on the Donna Drake Media empire.
Yeah.
And so she's been very gracious to me because she loves that I did that for her.
Yeah.
And she's invited me to her couch many times,
Yes.
even if it's through Zoom. So she's involved. She's actually on camera as Donna Drake.
Oh, nice.
So Donna Drake,
You'll be filming in her studio?
yes, probably though through Zoom, just for COVID compliance
Right.
and issues with logistics and so
Sure.
forth.
It's a beautiful studio, man.
It
She did a nice
is.
job at that place.
She did,
Yeah.
yes. And her studio is, New York State approved for
Yep.
tax deduction, and
Yep.
she's got it really going on. She's got a great team,
Oh, yeah.
and she runs a tight ship. Yeah,
Yes, she
she's-
does.
She's really good. That's a place to intern.
Oh, yeah. She's always taking
Yeah,
interns.
I mean, you have so many jobs, but that's
But-
another place to intern.
But so explain this to me with the interns.
Yeah.
I mean, you graduated college, so how does
So basically,
Now,
as
don't get me in trouble.
Oh, no, I'm not
getting
you're
anybody
in
good, you're
trouble.
good. No, I'll talk about everyone else. No, I think the way it's been going for me, I remember during college I was interning, as well, and then I was offered a job, and then from there, just kind of doing social media as well. And then I just kind of build like a client base after that, just kind of
Oh,
connecting
so it's
and
like
networking.
a
word of
networking
mouth.
thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All
I'm
right, got
hiring
it.
him.
Yeah.
Nice, as
Yeah.
you should.
Yeah, well,
He's
I
a
already,
good boy.
I already hired him for on set.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
Assistant PA, assistant
Well, he's
director.
actually I can't release
Oh,
cast
okay.
yet because we're going to
Okay.
have a very official announcement. But we have some cast from the Walking Dead series, High
Nice.
School Musical, Disney Plus. We have a couple of
Wow.
Netflix series talent. We have some indie film actors who have been out and about. So anyway, he will be personal assistant to one of the
Ooh.
one
Hopefully
of the
one of
guys.
the hot ones, hopefully.
No,
I'm joking.
he's gonna be hanging out with
wrong
someone
with
real
you?
cool.
Lots of
Cool
Yeah.
dude. Cool dude.
Yeah, I look forward to it. I look forward
Yeah.
to it for sure. So.
And he'll be doing transportation. It's a real important job. Then
Oh, he sure
he'll do
is,
so
yeah.
because he can sit in his car and wait and do social media. You were asking me. I just want to really shout out to some of the Long Island people. So I
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
had
sure.
mentioned New York Rep,
Yep.
non-for-profit. They're a fantastic organization. Enabled me to actually make this movie, in all honesty. And then Donna Drake, another person that came to the table. Christy Kilday is a shout out. She's not a Long Island lady, but she is and has been. And her mom was an extremely supportive person in mentoring me as a filmmaker. They have a post house in Los Angeles, and she's been a producer, collaborating producer on all my projects. There are a lot of other people, but the local community, Ronkonkoma,
There's a lot of talent here on Long Island. There really is.
and I tapped into it. I tried to stay as close and as local as I could, with even inviting people who have left and gone to LA or Atlanta, or moved on in their careers, and said, "Come on home and do this."
Yeah,
with
come
me."
on back. It'll be a
Yeah.
good feeling movie.
Yep. So we got all that going on. It's really exciting.
That is exciting.
It's not just the people I'm related to.
No, that's great.
And you have worked with big names. Like you mentioned, Mike Marino. You worked with Corbin Benson, I saw.
Yeah, he was Reach. The first film that I produced and was involved with from its, conception. I co-wrote it with two real talented young men, Grant Harling and Johnny James Fiore. Johnny actually played the young lead, Clarence West, and Corbin plays the grandfather to Johnny James' character.
Okay.
And then another talented, amazing stage actress who also film is Conchetta Tomei, not related to Marissa. She played the grandmother opposite Corbin.
And you just a few months back, right? You had a film, Four Cousins and a Christmas.
Yes, that was amazing. We released that in, October abroad, across the pond. So it released in all English-speaking foreign territories in October. And then November, it released as an original feature on the Vizio platform.
Oh, okay, nice.
And then December, it released on a couple of SVODs, like I think iTunes and Vudu, Google, and I want to say Amazon. It is still available.
Now,
That was Terry Polo. That was
Right.
Robert Davi, Nick Totoro. My daughter co-wrote it. She's in it. My other daughter, the comedian. That's how we got Mike. We got Jared Sandler, which I know he's been
Yes,
here
Jared's a
before.
good kid. Yep.
Mike Lenoci. I don't know if you know that
I know who he
name.
is, yeah.
Yeah. And Natasha and Mike were helpful in pulling in some of those comedians.
And I know, like you said, you're putting in lots of time and you're working your butt off. But and I know you also have people that take care of individual things.
Yeah.
But now, I'm always I don't want to say bewildered, but for lack of a better word, I'm just always, I guess, shocked at how much time goes into getting a movie like Four Cousins and a Christmas, getting it on iTunes, getting it on Vizio.
I'll tell you.
While you're working on the next project,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
just
yeah,
so
yeah.
much going on.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. I wish people, I would love to be paid what I'm worth. And so
Or per hour.
I don't want to trade dollars for hours, but the value that I do bring, and I recognize this value when I look at other people's resumes who want to be in this business, but they may not have that specific niche. And then there comes a time where you just need the specific skill set of this.
Right.
So to answer your question, it's really, there's so much involved. When I think back to Four Cousins and a Christmas, I remember my children, because Rafaela and Natasha were on set, and Rafaela turned off her writing and producing hat because she is very much involved in the producing. She had to be an actor, right? So I did the same thing. I had to turn off the producing hat.
Sure.
I hired an amazing producer, Jason Bernard, and Roberto Rosario. They're in LA, and they basically ran it like it's a party. And they invited everybody to the dinner table, and they just made sure everybody was happy. But the truth is they worked 14, 16-hour days too.
Right.
But I was able to put on the hat of a director. Production itself, like when we got to production, which was January 2019, Four Cousins was a much faster trajectory. My mom passed away in August of 2017. The idea came because of Rafaela was already working on something. And then it was just Four Cousins on the eve of the grandmother's wake are invited to sing at the funeral by the grandfather. And what we did was Rafaela and I invited Veronica along, my niece, and we wrote a one-act play. In 2018, again, lots of work went in between that and then actually going up. February 2018 at the Hudson Guild in New York City, one act. June 2018, we participated at the Hollywood Fringe in LA for one act.
Oh, wow.
And I had hired then
That's
my
a big deal to do
first
that.
assistant, Elliot Estrada, and brought him on board. He moved to LA and got his master's degree in screenwriting, and I gave him his first screenwriting credit. I hired him. He collaborated with myself and Rafaela, and we adapted the one act to the screen, hence Four Cousins and a Christmas. And that was in the summer of 2018. I pitched it at a festival, got some funding for development, got some momentum for, acquisition for sales. And then we went into production on Four Cousins during January and February of 2019. Then pickup shots, summer of 2019. Then some re-editing, festival. You go to markets and you gauge. We didn't have a buyer.
Right.
We didn't have a partner at that time. And so I'm giving you the trajectory.
Yeah.
And that's a fast trajectory.
That's exactly what's going through my
Yeah.
head. For a movie, this is all very fast.
That is fast. But then it took a long time because then COVID happened in 20.
Right.
And what we had to do was finish our post-editing during COVID, and nobody was able to get together, and we were all afraid.
Right.
So Rafaela and the composer, Rafaela's a vocalist, I explained that, and she used her voice skills and her composition skills, and she wrote the title track with some folks here in New York, and everybody was remote. And then she also used her vocals with the innovation of the composer, Julia Sokolowski and Rafaela, and they created the soundtrack during COVID in a very removed situation.
Yeah.
Right.
So we delivered the film, and then Mar Vista came on board. They acquired the rights worldwide, and we really delivered the film for them, ready to go with a 2020 release. But because of COVID and timing, they felt it better to wait till 2021. So then it sat, and in a sales capacity, that's where it developed its traction, and it was released in the universe to Mar Vista to do their thing, and they did a really good job. Mm-hmm. And
I'm amazed at how fast all that came together.
So then simultaneous to that, just so you know the overlap, in June of 2018, we had the worldwide premiere for Reach, which we filmed in 2017, and Freestyle acquired that film at Dances with Films Festival, and then we released that officially in October of 2018.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then 19, I shot Four Cousins.
Right.
And now, so 2020 is when I wrote The Legend of Lake Ronkonkoma.
Jeez.
So there's the overlap for you. And there's always a lot of other things going on.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing to me how, and that's exactly was the point of why I brought it up. There's so much going on, and granted, I understand you have a team of people, but at the same time, it's still the buck stops here. So like it's overwhelming.
And do you
at times,
love
right?
it all, or you're like, I love to direct, or I love to act, and everything else you have to do? But like what's your love?
Well, I think I'm a natural entrepreneur, and every film production is a mini business.
Mm-hmm.
You're creating a business, you're hiring a bunch of people, and I'm not talking just 10 people. There's between talent and crew, it's like 50 plus people, and then plus all the vendors and the relationships. And so from a producing standpoint, there is something innately natural that I have with that. And I do love that, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I love that. But I love having written. I don't enjoy writing because I don't have the mind capacity it takes a lot of, and this all writers say the same thing. I'm not the only one, but you have to lock yourself up in the attic. I don't know how else to describe it. You have to have the focus and the bandwidth to really sit in the zone. And for me, it's, a couple hours in the morning doesn't work. I need 5 hours, don't bother me. And 5 hours can turn into 20 and I have not showered or eaten or yada, yada to write. So having written is very enjoyable and rewarding. And then directing, I love directing.
Yeah.
I think directing is what I love the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be the order: directing, having written, and then this overarching kind of seeing the whole thing from the beginning to the end.
And it's funny you say that about writing, saying you're going to take 5 hours, next thing you know it's 20. And then sometimes you'll go back after those 20 hours, you'll look back and you got to start all over again. No, that's never happened to you?
It's more, well, I have taken, I don't have a degree in screenwriting, but I've taken screenwriting courses. So the way my process is just to write. And then you go back and you edit. But having written, you have to write as opposed to write, edit, crumple, throw out. But for me, it's just you write, you kind of vomit everything out.
Yes.
And then you go back and you rewrite. And then from there, you continually rewrite. Yeah.
It is nice when it just flows out like that, though, isn't it?
That's a muscle that needs to be exercised and something taught. Everybody's process is different. But if I find, and a couple of professors and writing instructors, if you can find the permission to give yourself to not edit or judge along the way, that is a productive way to do it. So don't judge, just write.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you go back.
Yes.
To go with an idea. And I am definitely one with ideas. Ideas are plenty. Stories are plenty. It's, Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. Don't, it's interesting. I've never even... people do that. They'll edit as they're doing it. I love that, just throwing it all up.
Yeah.
And letting it flow, letting it come out, and then I like sitting back, maybe at least a day, and then going back and saying, okay, let me see what just happened here. And now, because now you're out of that original zone, you're kind of normalized, so to speak, and you can kind of edit it from almost like a different perspective. Oh, okay, that was kind of cool. Oh God, what the hell was that?
That's what I do when I'm working on Wordle.
Wordle is that little app, right?
You can't take a day, though. You have to get it done by midnight.
That's right, yeah.
But I'll take a few hours. I'll go look back at my work, and I'll find that word.
Joan,
maybe I should play Wordle so that I don't make mistakes like I just did. You know what I mean?
Segregate.
Yeah. So
I'm often like, I don't even know that was a word.
So what I do want to say is, anything, I think, when we're accountable and there's a deadline, that also helps. You know what I mean? Because you just got to deliver the deadline. So if you're in a class or you're in college and you have to deliver, just like anything, it helps.
Yeah, right. Well, and that's interesting because that's how Danny and I even met. We met taking a comedy class here. And I found that to be the exact same experience. I mean, I almost dropped the class in the middle of it because I was like, oh, this is crap. What is this?
I'm glad you didn't because you actually
Oh, sorry, I had you off. Because
no worries.
you play with your microphone, and all I was hearing was...
Oh, do I really?
So when you're not saying anything, I shut you off. Sorry, Danny.
That's all right.
God.
All right. I didn't realize it. But I think for Tony, I'm glad he didn't because you ended up doing really good on your set.
Oh, well, thank you, pal.
Right? But I think you were also coming from a comedy standpoint, whereas Maria's coming from a screenwriting standpoint. Because I totally get the process that, where it's like we'll write something and then we're like, all right, this is garbage. Whereas Maria has a more time invested into screenwriting, right?
Right. I can speak, I think, too, to the difference between comedy just from second person removed, which is what I watch and witness Natasha.
Right.
Natasha's taken some she's groundlings, short form, long form. She's also studied with some really amazing writers and taken writing classes like you. And then she's been in a comedy troupe, which my son and her were in the Standing Tall comedy troupe, which starts with kids. And they were exposed to some amazing writers. What I can say is a different thing is, but if you treat it the same, is you have to write authentic stories when you're a comedian, because when you're 100%, and it's the same thing with screenwriting.
Sure,
but
yeah.
You're raw. You are up there and you are you.
Yeah.
Right? Even if you create a character as a comedian, this is what I observed with Natasha. Even when she created a character, that was like an extension of her, but the material was her
Right.
authentic truth, her
Right.
authentic experience.
Right.
And sometimes that doesn't resonate with the audience. It's just flat.
You have to be
Yeah.
100% behind it.
Yeah.
And you have to 100% sell it.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you also have to learn the skill of working the audience and the
Yes.
stage.
Yeah.
And that's an observation from just watching people like, Kevin James, and I watch Kevin Hart and I'm a fan when I watch, them. But then even to watch Mike Marino over and over again, which I'm
Yep.
a fan of.
Oh, he's great.
And even Chris Roach. And when you see the same comedians do their work, you can really see the skill of the ability to handle the live performance.
Oh, sure.
And when Natasha let it go and just was like, I'm with you. I get it. That didn't land right. You don't get it? All right, well, let me tell you something. Like when she would invite herself to the audience,
Yeah, yep.
that was a skill unto itself.
Right.
And that's why when you take these classes and you do your comedy and you're writing about yourself and you crumple up and you throw it out, you know what? Jerry Seinfeld did a special. I don't remember what it was because he does a lot of specials, but there was one thing that he did where he showed all of his legal yellow pads.
Oh, yeah, he laid it out
and he
on the
laid
street.
it out on
Yeah.
the street. And so I told Natasha, don't throw out your shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I curse on this?
Yes.
Oh God, don't throw out your damn shit. Your shit might be gold in the future. I told her that.
Yeah.
So I have like folders of all their stuff. And even my son,
Yeah.
when he was 10 years old, my son did stand-up comedy. I don't know if he made me take it off of YouTube, but if you Google Stephen Thomas Cap, you'll see him as a 10-year-old and he's hysterical. Bada bing, bada boom. Are you Googling it now?
Yeah, I'm going to take
Yeah,
a look.
yeah. I don't know if we took it off. He'll kill me, but because he's a serious actor right now, and
Serious actor.
He does want to do stand-up.
Stephen
comedy.
Thomas Cap?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because we've who is it? Kevin Downey Jr. Mm-hmm. He was in here talking about doing something, and then one of his friends said, "Oh, do the bit about that." And he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "I never write anything down." He goes, "There are things that I haven't thought about in years that he goes, I should write things down and keep them."
Yeah.
And he doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's just because he does a new show every single night. It's just all lost.
Well, that's a brilliant mind too.
Yeah. Oh, it
that's just a
is.
different
But wouldn't it be
process.
great if he,
Yeah.
kept it?
How
Maybe
I
he
Met-
doesn't have to.
How I Met Your Mother? Is that?
Well, he was in How I Met Your
Is
Mother.
that him right there?
Oh yeah, that's him.
It's part.
And he's older.
It's not. So it's not the whole act, but it's part of his acting reel. This clip
maybe,
is
yeah.
in there. So.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. We'll have to.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah. So 3 weeks, we're on Knockem, just to tie it back home and bring it
Yes,
local.
please.
You know what I mean? Local hire for production. Like I mentioned earlier before we started the show, Five Towns College. What a gem and a hidden place for people to get really great skills in this industry.
Yeah.
And I'm really impressed with the students that I've been dealing with.
You have what students from there interning as well?
Yes, and
hiring
them to work.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean they're so experienced. I find that they're practical, and again, like anything else, there are students that are in the same program and they're here, and then there's some that just pop, and it's like actors. You watch audition tapes. No one's ever bad, right? You just kind of have this line and interest level, and then there are those people that are on this level, and then there are people that just pop.
Yeah.
So it's the same
Yep.
thing like anything else. So, but I'm finding through Five Towns that if I had to do a statistical analysis, it's a good program.
It's a great program.
And I looped in with Christy O'Rourke,
Yep.
who is the career counselor,
That's
in
correct.
the guidance or
Yeah.
vocational department. And she's really very hands-on. So I think, it's right in our backyard. You don't have to go to LA or
Right.
Yeah.
Oh
So-
yeah, I say it all the time. There's so much talent, and plus we have the Grumman Studios now.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then just locally, St. Joseph's Church,
Yep.
St.
Clay Rose,
Mary's Church, the Parsnips the Lake House. There's a couple of Facebook pages. I live and love New York. Couple of local friends. I say kids because I remember them when we were kids. I know them from elementary school and middle school, but now they take pictures of the lake and they post them, and they're absolutely beautiful. Again, I always get the brothers mixed up, but a shout out to both Erwin and Eric Embro. A shout out to Leif Easterson, my family, my uncle Bernard. He's so sweet. When am I going to be on camera? You know. So.
Well, what are you waiting for? Put Uncle Bernard on.
He is.
the movie?
He's definitely.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a lot of locals.
Oh yeah.
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 All right. Here's the big thing,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you guys have all seen this. So many movies that supposedly take place on Long Island.
Yes.
You know, all the actors, they start talking like this, you know, because they're from Long Island. Like,
Yeah.
You're not going to do that, right?
No.
Thank God.
No.
It
So
makes me crazy.
So
yeah,
a couple
who
of
is
the
it? Like
Like all those Buttafuoco movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Joey, what are you doing, Joey? Like, I
right.
hate
Well, there's an
or
appeal
what's
to
the
that.
Division Avenue, which filmed a
Oh, yeah, they did it there, too.
Who was in it?
There's that high school where you got pulled over. Hugh Jackman
Yeah,
just
Hugh
he just
Jackman
filmed a
and-
movie there 2-3 years ago.
and who was the
Oh, wait, he plays the Roslyn
Yes.
superintendent.
Yes.
and they
they filmed
all
it here.
had these awful
Horrible Long Island accent.
Made me nuts.
Awful.
Do you know that makes me nuts too? You know, I don't want to get, but like, there's so much talent that exists that should play the role
Agreed.
that is their natural language, especially when we're in a world where we're talking about inclusivity and how we want to be authentic.
Right.
It's just not counter. Like Hugh Jackman is a fantastic, and I'm a huge fan. I love you, my God. But for him to play the superintendent from
Right.
Roslyn, I could have named 10 other actors that could have done it and were from and or grew up here.
Right. It's not like he looked like him or anything. I mean, that guy,
Oh,
the
yeah,
real
it looked
guy, looked like Fred
nothing like
Flintstone.
him.
He didn't look like Hugh Jackman.
And not to say that Alec Baldwin looks
Fred
like Fred
Flintstone
Flintstone,
could have
but I'm
played
just
him.
giving an example.
Wouldn't it be funny if like one
or
character
Ray
was just a
Romano.
cartoon?
Well, Ray Romano was a very
Well,
respected actor
and it's funny because he's in that
comedian.
movie. It's funny you say that. He's in that movie, but he has a lesser role.
But he should have been the principal.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
he is a great actor. I've
Yeah,
loved
that's what I'm
him
saying.
in so many things.
Oh yeah, Paddington. I don't know if anybody saw that one.
That series Parenthood that Tony loves.
I don't remember. We got out of track, but I had like a really cool thought about so no to the talking like Joey
Thank you.
Buttafuoco. But what I will say is one of the challenges is for me is so I'm not Native American, and when the original script, it had a lot of things in it that were not correct. So I looked to the industry of people that had a handle or were advocates of indigenous art and had some points checked to make sure. And what I did
Nice.
is I just took a step back and said, you know what, I'm an Italian American who grew up in Long Island. It's my story, and it's my story based on the perspective of what I was exposed to as it relates to the indigenous. And my
Sure.
parents were really contemporary. Ronkonkoma, but we were in New York all the time. I was in the Bronx, Queens, every weekend. And I also went all the way out to
Which is a hike, by the
and
way.
we also
from
went out to
Ronkonkoma.
Shinnecock every summer. We ate at the Lobster Inn, which is owned by them.
Yeah.
We frequented the powwows. My parents were really cool like that. So this is my perspective. But what I did do is I took the initiative to countercorrect and make sure that the voice of the contemporary teens in the story are the voice of the contemporary teens of today, which they're super hypersensitive and socially correct.
Right.
So they call out everything that is stereotypical about how we might think. And they call that out.
Good.
Yeah.
That's a nice touch. I like that.
I like
Yeah.
that.
See,
Yeah.
that's why you are who you are.
Yeah,
'Cause
and-
you take the extra mile to.
Oh, for
to,
and
do
then
that.
for sure, like what you were saying, you know, my kids grew up on Long Island, and
Yeah.
I can turn it off and turn it on. Corporate, when I worked in the 80s and I still lived on Long Island and I was in human resources, I turned it off.
Yeah.
But then I hang
Right.
out on Sunday morning for bagels and breakfast, and I'm like, coffee, mother, father, sister, brother. You know, my kids, when I'm on Long Island and they talk to me on the phone, they're like, oh my God, Mom, just,
Yeah.
you know, stop. So to answer your question, the appeal, though, is global, right? It's a very local effort, both in our touch of the local economy, of the local town. It's local to portray local, but it's not Joey Buttafuoco speaking. It's not like your hardcore Law and Order cops, blue collar cops
right.
talking like they're from Brooklyn, and you know, it's not that. No, it has to have a global appeal.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's
Good.
excellent. What's the plan?
Yeah, when's it coming out and stuff?
Yeah, do you have
Yeah.
a plan when it's going to be done? All
Yeah.
that.
So we're still raising funds, and that's because it's a grassroots movement, and I'm using and working with New York reps. So we will have a fundraising event that will be spearheaded by an amazing man he's a social media guru, and he will help us with a crowdfunding campaign. We'll work with Seed and Spark, which supports female fundraisers. So that's happening in the end of summer. Then we're having an in-person event with New York Rep.
Wow.
That will be to show to the New York Rep donors and community some clips, what we did. We'll probably integrate some entertainment from a powwow or what they would do at a powwow at that live event, and that will be continued fundraising efforts. From that event, I will be donating, New York Rep wants to do it as well, proceeds to the Shinnecock Reservation, in addition to our fundraising for the film. I have so if you want to continue to donate, if you want to sponsor, if you want to come and visit us on set, we're going to be doing a cool raffle that the social media team came up with. So just keep following us. But in terms of the plan, we have a lot of companies that are interested in acquiring it, just like Mar Vista did. But it was once we were already wrapped, and they were looking at a more finished product.
Sure.
And then they got involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have several companies that are interested in doing that, and I'm confident that we'll have our choice of who's going to be the better partner.
Good.
And it'll be a worldwide release. I just don't know the what that looks like exactly, but I just know that it'll probably be whatever the sales funnel is in the environment in the moment as it relates to streaming. I don't know if it'll get a theatrical run. Movies don't do well today in the theatrical world unless they're really geared toward that demographic of a male 35 and under who want to see the franchises of the big action and Marvel comic character kind of things.
We're so tired of seeing that.
I know.
My son is a big Marvel guy. We just saw that
And
the latest Doctor Strange yesterday.
I do love it.
Oh, it
I
was
love
awful.
seeing
You're
all
big on
of
that?
them.
You have to be like.
Oh, sorry, Danny.
That's all right. I feel like you have to be, if you want to experience it more, you have to be like on some kind of psychedelic.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine Doctor Strange? Like, just
Well,
mind
this
melting
latest
you?
one especially, I
Yeah.
actually said that to Sallie
That's
after.
exactly
I feel
what
like I
Tony
was
said.
just on a
Yeah.
bad acid trip, and I've never even taken acid. But this
Yeah, we
movie
were
was
a
so
little-
out there.
we
it
didn't
was
really
so
like it.
They
ridiculous.
shot it during COVID.
Right.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
So if you really look at it from that perspective, they did a pretty decent job, but it was
Okay,
all
all
it
right.
was like, how many characters were in one scene.
That's true.
Right.
If you really take a step back and you understand what they did.
Yeah, I kind of wish I knew that before. I would have had a whole different perspective.
But it doesn't take away from the
It was
fact that
awesome,
the
though.
plot was
Yeah.
not good and the dialogue
writing
was
was
not
pretty
good.
bad.
Like
Well,
I
I can't
just
speak to that. That is true. I saw a movie.
bad movie.
I saw a movie the other day with Chris Pine. I forgot the name of the female actress, but I watched that. It was on Netflix, and it was about two CIA former lovers, and it was a psychological thriller. And there really wasn't, when I looked at it, I was able to appreciate what they did. They were able to,
Okay.
and it was a good story. That was well written.
Chris Pine
the
is
narrative. But what it was two people in a scene. It was really never, and if there was a group, there was one, there were a couple of scenes where it was the group of the CIA team. They were at a table. They were never more than
Right.
6 feet together.
Yeah.
That was a really cool. I was able to watch that and see that, but that had all the right bells and whistles. So you were asking the plan. I would say my trajectory is to deliver the film by the end of the year, so that whoever is our acquisition partner has the ability to, release it in whatever time constraint makes sense for the 2023 year. It
Sure.
could be during sleepy January, end of January. It could be, as a counterintuitive for all the love rom-coms that happened during February. I don't know, whatever it is. It doesn't need to be during the Halloween thrill rush. That's a flooded time, so.
Yeah.
True. This is all great stuff. Did Danny just low-key admit to doing psychedelics? Yes, I think he did. That's one of the comments that just came in, Andy Plajanos. Yeah,
Are you getting some behind the
No,
the
no,
scene
no.
photography going on?
Oh, am I for this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got some good pictures of me?
I've been trying to get some decent
Is this
angles.
my profile? Is this the right profile?
Well, I'm trying to also kind of get in the middle, but I don't want to like interfere too much.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Oh, you could. Yeah, I mean, if
sure?
you walked around, you'd be behind the cameras
Camera.
and stuff.
Yeah,
so you
take
can
some-
walk over.
All right.
Photos.
Because I got
Wow.
some earlier, but I wasn't
Yeah, no,
sure.
get the three of us.
All right, sure.
Sallie, Tony, and Maria.
Wait. Oh. I thought
Yeah,
it
you
was
gotta take that
wireless
off
for a
then.
second.
They're headphones. They don't travel with you.
Yes. Is this like a
that's a good one.
a posed one? We're posing for the camera.
I usually take a lot, anyways.
We'll make it look like we're having a great moment.
I'm just have Danny on. All you see is his like arms.
So do you guys want to be on camera? You want to be in the movie?
I would love to be in a movie. Yeah, I've been
Really?
acting since I was in high school. Yeah.
We'd love to have you. We have a church scene, like a church support scene, which is a fundraising event, and I need some folks
All right.
that are my peers that would be on camera. If you want, we'll let you know.
Sure, that'd be fun.
You got anything like? Is there a fight scene where I can beat up Chris Roach?
You can come to Parsnips the Lake House where he's going to portray the bartender, and you can do a bar fight.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love that. Would be hilarious.
Chris is great.
He's
Yeah.
one of the nicest guys in the world, and so damn funny.
Yeah.
Love
He's
him.
a funny story how I met him.
Yeah. Are you going to tell it, or do we have to call him up?
No, I mean, I'll touch broad strokes, but Ron Knockem, a guy.
Yeah.
A lot of people know the same people, but it was through a church group that he met my dad. And then my dad said, "Oh, he's such a nice guy." And I mean, I knew of him, and we kind of moved in the same circles.
He
but-
was a part of the church group.
Yeah, he was a member of it. Yeah.
Really?
Why
Yes.
is that so surprising to
He
you?
just doesn't strike me. He's a big metalhead guy. He just didn't strike me as a church.
Metalheads love Jesus too.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was the connection that really solidified. And then I'm the kind of gal that reaches out to people and says, "Hey, hi."
Right.
You want to hear a funny story of what I did?
Yeah.
Would love to.
So Monday we shot a music video for a musical that's in the progress of getting to Broadway.
Nice.
And one of two of the songs I'm directing the music video of. So we're up in Pleasantville. Do you know where Pleasantville, New York is?
Yes.
Where is it?
About 45 minutes out of Manhattan.
Okay.
But I think it's really close to Chattawak. Where do the Clintons live? Anybody know? Up the
I think it's Chattawak. I think
Okay,
it's, I
so
think it's
yeah, it's a
pronounced
wealthy, beautiful, community. So the corner boutique that we were shooting in had all windows. Setting up a shot, I'm the director. And one of the producers says before we're rolling, "Oh my gosh, President Clinton is walking by. Bill Clinton is outside." I drop what I'm doing, dart for the door, open up the door and say, "Hi, President Clinton." Again, put the charm on. But
Yeah.
This time I look like a raccoon because I'm working. My hair's up in a bun.
So two
Mascara
buttons
is
came off
down.
that one.
Was I wearing a shirt where buttons would be off? Nope. I'm wearing all black. I'm crew girl. And I say, "How are you? My gosh, it's a beautiful day. You're taking a walk." Like just blah, 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 blah. And he turns around with a southern drawl, and he says, "Well, yeah. You look like you're real busy in there. What do you got going on?" I said, "Well, we're shooting a music video, and we have some really amazing talent, and they're from Broadway. And would you like to come in and join us? Would you like to come in and meet everybody?" "Oh, well, sure." So,
Come on, really?
Oh,
he said yes?
He came in, and I will
Wow.
be posting it soon. Do you know the story? Did you know this happened? Yeah, I'm waiting for video. We have 35 minutes of Bill Clinton, former President Bill Clinton, standing there telling us about he and Hillary are going to go to Lincoln Center and see some theater, and that his granddaughter will be most impressed that he is standing in the same room of the actress who plays Jasmine in Aladdin.
Oh, wow.
And so we took pictures. We got group pictures, individual pictures, and that's me. I just go, and everybody was like, "You were like lightning. You just stopped and you went."
Yeah, that's awesome.
Did you talk him into being in the video?
Well, he gave us his assistant's email address, and he said, "Absolutely, you can post all this. Let's get some videos. Let's get some pictures.
Wow.
You can do whatever you want. Whatever you want. Yeah. Just tag us." So
That's nice. That's
yeah.
cool. That's really cool of him.
Yes.
Wow, that's
Very cool.
wild.
I had a
Good for
different
you.
relationship with him in the 80s. No, the 90s.
Is that something we could talk about?
No, just as a woman who observed I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
with that ex-president.
Yeah. So I was a different mindset then, but an
Well,
appreciation for the
And on the same level as that, we were once shooting a commercial by Radio City outside the place, and the saxophone player for Hall & Oates came walking by.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think,
that's all.
Yeah, that's exactly
It's
the
a true
same.
story, but I was joking that it's on the same level.
I got a massage with let's see, Hall and Oates. Which one's the blonde and which
That's
one's
Hall,
the blonde?
the
is Hall.
singer, the lead singer. Yeah, Hall.
Okay, so
Daryl Hall.
Oates.
Oates gave you a massage?
No, Oates and I were getting massaged on the top of the Four Seasons Hotel in Beverly Hills. He was over there with his, and I was over there with mine. But there we were, and I was like, oh my God.
You got like a couples massage with.
No.
Oh.
No. Just
Oh.
they, in LA they kind of do that. You can get a masseuse to come up to the hotel and the rooftop and get a massage.
The rooftop? Like not to your room, just to the rooftop.
You can have them come to your room too,
Oh.
but it was to the rooftop.
The rooftops are usually set
rooftop
up really
pool.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. Like
You
people,
can make it
people
pro-
use it as like one of the places I lived in had a rooftop that you decorated like it was a
Yeah, they have parties and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know about massages though.
I forgot. Did I say Terry Polo before when I was?
Yes, you did actually.
Oh,
yes,
God.
she's great.
Oh my gosh, she's like a.
She
I
played
love her.
Jimmy Smith's wife on West Wing. That's what Terry Polo
I
is.
love her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she's very good. She was in Meet the Parents and all that stuff. Yeah.
I was
Oh,
really
yeah, yeah.
disappointed with The Big Leap. That was a TV show she just did. They shot out of Chicago. Yes,
You're
I'm checking
safe.
my buttons.
I'll be like,
She shot it out of Chicago, and again, just being a woman and being over 40, much older than 40, but and watching that story, that was a good show. If you didn't watch it, it's only one season, but it has a bunch of comedians in it,
Oh yeah.
a bunch of musical theater people,
Okay.
and then Terry's character was good.
The Big Leap.
what's
Okay.
it on?
It was a Fox show, so probably now it's
It only did one season. They got rid of it.
That's it,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, she is very good. I like her.
yeah.
Wow. And let me go back. You said, growing up on Long Island in theater and stuff. So you worked with Broad Hollow and
Yeah, I taught, choreographed,
Oh,
and
wow.
produced. So I was on the board with my siblings for Kids, which recently went bye-bye.
did it?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they Bobby Cabot, who works over at Engerman, if that's how you say it, in the Northport area. His mom was one of the founding members of the Kids production.
Wow.
I think I lost track of the years, but when and my sisters were still involved even after I left. But I'm gonna say it probably was approaching 35, maybe 37 years, celebrating. And so I was on the board there. So I produced a lot of shows there. I taught class. I choreographed, and then I also worked with the Broad Hollow Bayway family.
Sure. Yep.
I did a
The
lot.
Zaybacks.
I worked directly for Pat and Jerry.
Yep.
I was also on stage there.
What time frame? Give me an idea.
Let's see, I was pregnant with my son the last time I think I was on stage at Broad Hollow. So that was Annie. My
Okay.
mother was in it. I was in it. My sister was in it. And my
Your
two
son
daughters.
was in it.
And my son was in utero. Yeah. So that was back in 2000. That was right after September 11th. September 11th.
Okay.
And that was, so June, is that 01? That happened in 01?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So I was on stage then. And then after that, I directed their teen productions. They have like teen classes.
And how far back do you go with them? I worked with them in the late 80s and early 90s.
I don't think I was on stage as a kid with the Zaybacks, but
okay.
if I want to date myself, as a child, my first role was as a snow child in Carousel. My mother was in it, and that was Carriage House Players in Smithtown.
Oh, sure.
And then Sayville Musical Theater Workshop. Jeff Hoffman was the musical director for Gypsy. That was also a family affair. I was in Gypsy. My cousin was in Gypsy. My sisters were in Gypsy. My brother was in Gypsy. My mother, my father.
My plumber.
But Jeff Hoffman, the reason I mentioned his name was he was brilliant, 17-year-old. And now he's, I don't know if he's the department chair, but he certainly is still a teacher in Sayville High School.
Oh, nice.
And so Jeff Hoffman. Star Playhouse, I was on stage often, and I worked with Rick Grossman. I was directed by Rick Grossman, who acted on stage with my mother, directed my mother, and then also directed my daughter.
Yeah, that Rick
Airport
Grossman was a long
Playhouse,
time.
if you remember Airport Playhouse.
I do. Mhm.
Yeah, when Airport Playhouse closed, Kids for Kids was there for years. I negotiated and found the new home for Kids, which was at the St. John's Centennial Theater, where the old, I forgot what it's called now, but there's catering on the property, and it's of course from CM. I've also been involved with CM.
Sam, yeah.
Yeah.
Noah,
So,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Very nice. What's next? What's after this?
Montauk.
Oh,
Possibly London. Personal things.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
I would love for things to come to fruition. We have some good stuff going on in the Mike Marino world.
Oh, yeah?
So yeah, yep. Mike Marino is fantastic.
We talk about it all the time on here. We mentioned comedians that should be household names, and
Yes.
for whatever reason they're not. And Mike is definitely
one of them. Yeah,
one of the
so
top
I'll
ones.
tell
Yeah.
you that is something that could possibly strongly happen before the end of the year. A project in production. I also have some other things that I'm writing that are in development and being pitched. But
What have you done with
my
Mike?
gosh, I forgot. It's like, I got attached to direct an amazing script, and I'm helping produce. That might have an announcement by the end of the year for a 2023 production.
All right.
And then I have an action film that I got attached to produce, and that also could have an announcement for production to take place in 2023. I forgot. All these good
The
things.
action movie. That's the movie that you need me for.
Yeah, that's a.
Yeah, I have a prosthetic leg, so you can like
Do you
legs
really?
can fly off of me and stuff. Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I could you can blow me up and stuff and have body parts flying off
I will
of me.
take that into consideration and share that with the director.
She's like, who is this? Who is this idiot that's talking about his leg?
Sally, do you live with this man?
I do. Every day
Does he
an
throw his
adventure.
leg at you sometimes?
She likes it.
Sometimes.
And we don't even need to go there.
What have you done with Marina? And I know you can't go any further.
Yeah.
But what have
Oh
you
my
done with
gosh.
him?
I mean, I'll say it. We have a TV show that we have been developing, which is based on his life growing up in New Jersey in an Italian family.
Sure.
So that's one. He himself has like a documentary, which he personally documented his life growing up on the Jersey Shore as a wild man with his brothers.
Nice.
And I relate to that because I grew up as a wild woman going out to the Hamptons and the Bordy Barn and CI and all that stuff. So we kind of have that parallel existing universe and commonality. So I'll support whatever. Then he has this whole web series called Make America Italian Again.
Right.
Vote for Mike Marino, for president. And he did that during paralleling the Trump campaign. And so now he's resurging. There's a resurgence in his whole MO and branding of that. So anything, but those are the things. Yeah, he's a good guy, and he has a lot of material, and he has a lot of great stories, and he's a trained actor. I think he went to ADA in the city.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And he's been an actor first and foremost since he's a kid.
Wow. No, I wasn't
Commercial
aware of any of
acting.
that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what we got going on.
That'd be a
Fantastic.
bright
Mike, are you
future for
happy?
him.
I plugged you in a very subtle way.
That's one of those people we still haven't gotten in here, but I'm dying to get him in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, maybe
That'd
if
be
we
great.
do our fundraising show, we can get the guys
Yeah. Why not?
and Natasha
That'd
and
be a lot of
Danny will
fun.
sit on the couch.
Isn't it?
We're gonna give Danny a spot in that show.
Sally put that couch together. I'll have you know that. Yeah,
A
she
couple
did.
of Allen wrenches.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She can't say it. It's Allen wrenches, but she could still
What did I
use
say?
it. You
Allen
said,
wrenches.
You said Allen.
Yeah, I thought you were
No,
gonna
I
talk about
did
Ellen
not.
DeGeneres.
You-
Yeah.
see?
Did I
I
really?
have backup. Yeah.
Me and Ellen.
All right. So Maria Cap, what? And if you said it, I missed it. What does the Ronkonkoma does the movie have an official title?
So right now the title is The Legend of Lake Ronkonkoma.
Okay.
The Lady of the Lake.
Oh, okay.
That's why I got Lady of the Lake. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll change.
Yeah.
Whomever, they'll run it through and see what feedback it is for sales. And I'm sure the title, Four Cousins and a Christmas, is not what it was originally called.
What was it originally called?
Pizza and Wine with an H for whining.
Oh.
And then it was called A Pizza and Wine Christmas. And its now official name is Four Cousins and a Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll see.
And all right. So now, if anybody's interested in donating or seeing any of your work,
Yeah.
what's
do
the,
they-
what's the best place to find you?
So the best way to find us is on all the social medias. Facebook, if you're a Facebook person, you can definitely find the New York Rep link and the donating form. You can also go to New York Rep. If you Google New York Rep, The Legend of Lake Ronkonkoma, we have our own landing page.
Okay.
Then you do have to figure out how to get to the donation page. I think we have the direct link hooked up to our Instagram page, which is the Maria Cappuccielli page.
All right.
So just Google my name, and I'm on all handles, Instagram and
So
social
right,
media.
so Cappuccielli, not Maria Cap. They should look for Maria Cappuccielli.
I think if you Google Maria Cap Instagram, it'll come up Maria Cappuccielli,
Okay.
IG. Do you know what my exact handle is? Is it at Maria Cappuccielli? On Instagram? Maria Cap is Maria Cap, and then Cappuccielli is Facebook. Yeah.
You come up
P's,
quick.
C-A-P-P,
You come up pretty
yeah.
fast because I Googled you like immediately. It's like,
Yeah.
Cap?
Well, no, it's Capriccielli.
Oh, it is
For
Cappuccielli.
Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, just, find me, Google my name, and then just, find, we also have a website, so people can find us there. But, the support has been tremendous. And
Good.
a $5 donation buys a cup of coffee or two for crew.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no donation is too small.
That's great. And if you're around this weekend, get in touch with Christy. Come on over to the festival.
Yes.
I've seen 2 movies that are going to be shown at the
Yeah, we've
festival.
seen
They're
Zach. His son,
My
Zach.
son is one of them. Yeah.
who
I'm
was
very
nominated
excited.
for?
He's up for 5 awards at for
Is-
the festival this weekend.
Is your son a graduate of 5
He's
Towns?
graduating
In a
this
week.
next at the end of the month. He's
Why
graduating
isn't
5
he
times.
interning for me?
You tell me. No, he's actually
Is he
been working for Candace Kane. Is that her last name?
Candace Kane, the video personality and wait.
She's a writer and director.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking
She's-
of somebody else.
They just wrapped a movie with her, but she's also the writer and director for there's a faith-based streaming platform called
GCIC?
no PureFlix.
Yes.
She's the writer and director of their #1 rated TV show, and my son's been working on that with her. We're not
But he
people
started.
of faith, but
Yeah, he
it's a job.
started a. He started as like an intern there, and then she made him an assistant
He's
director.
her first AD. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you
very
look at like
excited.
if you watch
Wait,
back the
is he
video.
a first AD right now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is he available? I need a first AD.
When?
Maybe.
Now.
Yeah.
My
he's-
film. I need a first AD.
I'll reach out to him.
I am interviewing first ADs.
Okay, I'll reach out.
if you look at the
Look at that.
if you play back the video of today's show, there's this one scene where they're doing like the behind the scene, the scene that Danny's in. Zach just made that in like no time. He just came in one day, threw it together. Like
just like that.
he did. Like he's so good.
I'll reach out to him as soon as we're done
So
here.
tomorrow night's the festival?
Tomorrow night is the festival, yeah, and then Saturday is the awards and all. But yeah, tomorrow I think it's 6 or 7 at the school. They have so many talented kids.
I
You mentioned
know,
you
you
mentioned a Mike before. Is it Mike Gallo by any chance?
No.
Because George Gallo, great comedian, his son is over there too. He's got a film in this festival that Zach showed me. You didn't see it, right?
Nope.
Oh my God, this movie blew me away. It's a short film festival.
What's the PureFlex TV show? Because I know the PureFlex.
It's called Welcome to Hope. Excuse me. Allergies are. Anybody have allergies?
Yeah, he's just, and it's
Oh,
so
they've
funny
been
too.
kicking
He's
my
like,
ass.
and then he leaves
No?
the window open at night. You know, with all the pollen.
Trying to
Like
get
I'm like,
fresh air.
I don't have allergies, but if I'm bothered a little bit, you're completely
Yeah.
screwed.
I don't mean to cough all over you.
And then he's got like the windows open in the car. I'm like, will you just protect yourself a little bit? I'm like, look at nature. This is not your friend.
Or wear a mask.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's not a cold. I don't think pollen stays. Does the mask keep pollen away from your lungs?
I don't
even know.
But I know that I had allergies here on Long Island, and they went away when I moved to
No
Los
kidding,
Angeles.
really?
Yeah. But the desert air is really good. But then you have the LA air
Smog.
quality.
Yeah.
It's
and
just
the
this
soot.
time of year that like really kills
So
them.
what I used to do is I would have a fan.
That's what she.
Yeah,
I
that's
would.
what
So
I
I
did
like the fresh air also, but you gotta have a fan blowing it out, or or a fan in the window that sucks it out.
yeah.
Yep.
That's what my husband he bought. Like they have fans
Yep, I know
in
what
the
you're talking
window.
about, yep.
That helps me, so I was able to get some fresh air. But the fan.
She's a
Always
smart one.
thinking that one.
Yep, she is. Yeah, Welcome to Hope. It's called. Is the name of the show, and it's on PureFlix. Yeah, and then with her, they just did a movie that they just finished. What was it, last week? Right? Yeah, so he's. And it's all through 5 Towns. They're fantastic over there, and Christy is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So yeah, it's time for us to go. All the best.
Thank you.
Looking forward to where this is going and seeing the movie. And please, so you'll be here all summer filming this?
Yeah. Oh no, we're just filming 3 weeks. So we start
okay.
Tuesday the 31st. We wrap on June 17th.
So you're going to get this, and it's a full length.
Feature.
You get it done in 3 weeks?
Yeah,
That's
we're
not
doing
even
15.
3 weeks. That's like 2 weeks and a couple of
that's
days.
3. It's 3 weeks. We're
Wow.
shooting 15 days. And then we have a couple of, whatever, pre-pro and wrap and stuff.
But the actual filming, you'll get
It's
all that
15
done
days,
in 3
yeah.
weeks?
All the other
Wow.
films that we mentioned were done in 10, 11, 12, 13 days.
Yeah, maybe Zach can if he's not like too busy.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. All right.
be
Maria, Cap, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. Please come back when you're back in town.
Absolutely. We have so many reasons to get together.
And I'll introduce you about a fundraiser. Danny, thank you, pal. Good to see you. Don't be a stranger. Don't wait another freaking year to come back in, you son of a bitch. All right, what are we doing? We got, there's nothing on tonight, right?
No. Mm-mm.
All right, so and you're
We'll
not
just
here
see you
tomorrow with me?
No, I'm
All right.
not here tomorrow.
Me, Andy will be here tomorrow. We got a comedian out of Dallas called Pang Dang. That's his real name.
You're just making that up.
I swear to God, I swear that it sounds like when you stub your toe. Pang Dang.
My
That's what it
gosh, I'm
sounds like.
sure he's hysterical and he makes fun of his name.
You
Well,
hope
he's a
so.
comedian, so he,
Yeah.
I would, yeah.
Okay, good.
And Joey Callahan, who is performing here at Governor's in Levittown, I believe it's Saturday. He will be zooming in with us, so it'll be a fun show. Thanks for sticking around. Again, thanks, Maria. Thanks,
oh my gosh,
Danny.
my pleasure. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks. See you.
Bye.